So I'm here just to rant, I guess, for like a second and remind people to, touch grass, and don't take the black pill, especially when you go down privacy and security, and to go outside and interact with people. Privacy and security is never going to be perfect. If you can kind of like accept that you live a better life, maybe touch a woman or a man, and to also learn the importance of like questioning in like the most polite way when people deny you something. I went to a store earlier and I use Cake Pay for like their virtual web cards, like their web cards to like buy stuff sometimes, because it's just more convenient than me going and carrying around cash, etc. And I go into this grocery store that I can like type, like I just need to type in. I'm like, hey, I want to just pay for these groceries. Can we just type this like in real quick? And they said, at first they said no, and I'm like, okay, like what, like why? Like I just questioned it real quick. If they would have gave me like maybe like a valid reason, I would have definitely been like, okay, yeah, whatever. And then I move on. I use my card or go withdraw cash or whatever, or leave. I just kind of like was like, why? And they're like, oh, you need to do tap to pay, because Meijer or Walmart or whatever, insert like grocery store, Aldi, blah blah blah. They're like, we need that. Whatever the reason they give you, they're like, we need it because we need it to be physical. Like they want it to be physical, and I kind of looked at him like for a second and was like, yeah, but like, why? And he was like, it could be anyone's card. I'm like, so can tap to pay. If it's in my virtual wallet, it can also be anyone's wallet. It makes a virtual, like this is just a virtual card. I tried to be nice about it, and he paused for a second and was like, okay, I see your point, fuck. And they let me like type my card in, and it worked and went through. And it's kind of just like my, like, to like not be like an NPC, and you don't have to be like a douche about it, but definitely like if someone says you like, especially if you're just trying to preserve your privacy, because I prefer like not having to go out and always buy prepaid cards, and I can convert my Monero to it, and it's so efficient and it's so quick, and I love it. And I've just never like, I just kind of like took that moment like and realized that it's definitely good to like kind of like educate yourself, and like don't be rude, and most of the times like things will good, like it'll happen, people let stuff happen, like it'll happen, it'll get done. But I'm definitely wanting to just kind of like tell people to also take a step back and realize that if you're, whatever you're doing now to preserve your privacy, whether it's using privacy.com or going to using Graphene OS, or locking your iPhone down to like the minimal amount of data like mining that they can to like comfortability, switching to Linux or deep loading Windows, you're doing a good job, and you shouldn't let anyone tell you that you're not doing a good job, I guess. I don't know. It was just kind of like an interesting like interaction, and I think it kind of makes people like uncomfortable when you do things that aren't like look normal, because it I guess I could understand where they're coming from their perspective. Like it looked weird because I'm just some dude with like groceries, and I'm like, I want to pay with a virtual card. It's on a web, like it works. I've used it everywhere on the web, and I've used it in other place in person. And they're like, oh yeah, no problem, like type it in. I can't wait till privacy.com can open up their beta and like let me use their virtual cards. That'd be great. But to take it a step further, it's really cool that I can take my Monero or insert currency here, convert it to Monero, push it over to Cake Wallet, buy some webs, use a temp. I've made an aliased information with them and used a PO box. I've never had an issue with their web Visa cards. It's really awesome. But that's all I really wanted to say. Have a good night.